Yeah, she actually was our student manager. So she is a local kid, and she went to West Texas A&M, decided that she wanted to just be a regular student, as you know they all do. When you're in it and you have the grind of practice and in class and traveling, and you don't get to do all the things that you see the regular students doing, then you think the grass is greener on the other side. You feel like you're missing out. So she transferred to Tech, and what she realized, what she was really missing out on, is the basketball experience of being part of a team. So she joined our program as a student manager, and we use her for individuals. So she does a lot of individuals with us, where we use her as a passer, or maybe as a defender, things like that. And I just really noticed that she's very smart. She's got good IQ, really good passer. Has a good feel for it. So, but didn't really think anything of it. I mean, that was back in September. So a few weeks ago, with Rasay's injury, and the uncertainty of that point guard position, Swoops and I were getting on the plane to head to TCU, and I just kind of I said to Swoops, I said, hey, you're probably going to think I'm crazy, but what do you think about maybe moving Haley up to a walk-on? And Swoops looked at me and she said, you'd be crazy if you didn't do it. Do it. So it's been a process, because this was over Christmas break, and there's protocol that's involved in getting someone eligible through the NCAA. And so it's taken this long. She literally got cleared about 10 o'clock at night on Tuesday. And Melissa Maines, our director of ops, booked her a flight. She was on a flight at 6 a.m. Wednesday morning, her first solo flight ever in her life. So 6 a.m. from Lubbock to Houston, Houston to Pitt, and then she took an Uber from Pittsburgh to Morgantown, met us at pregame meal. I watched a little bit of film with her. She went upstairs and took a nap, and couple rebounds, a couple of assists, 3 turnovers later, she's she's in the game. So really happy to have her.
How much do you think she can help you guys down the stretch, and what was her Uber bill?
Her Uber bill was $110, and I think it was the best $110 that our program has spent in a while. She will help us tremendously. Who's probably the most excited about her is Grayson and Angel. So it takes a lot of pressure off Grayson. Now we're able to move Grayson back to her natural position. Angel has been playing with a great deal of confidence anyway. So Angel will get more minutes at the 1, and then Haley will be able to come in and give Angel a break. And so Grayson is probably the most fired up of everyone.
And then final question about that. I mean, how excited is she to be back in the mix, having, stepped out of playing and into the training role, and now back to, a varsity level athlete? She's so grateful. And having an attitude of gratitude, especially in the midst of the season that we're in and dealing with everything that we're dealing with, that means everything. And this kid is so grateful to not just be able to play college basketball again, but to do it at Texas Tech University, her hometown school. So we're grateful to have her and her selflessness, because she actually had to take a pay cut to do this. She was a paid student manager, and now she can't be paid anymore, and she's not on scholarship. So she's taken a pay cut to do this. And so we're extremely grateful to be able to give her this experience.
How much with Angel and I'm sorry, no, I'm blanking. Haley. How much with Angel and Haley do they help with the, like you always say, attitude, energy, and effort portion of it? Just some players who obviously hadn't had the opportunity to play too much until, just recently, and kind of infect some of that into the play on the court.
Tremendous. We've had several kids who have really embraced the attitude, energy, effort components of what we're doing here in this transition, but probably no more than those two. That's just Angel's character. She's just really tough. She's really grateful for this opportunity from the beginning. Grateful for the extended playing time that she's been receiving. And obviously I've just spoke on Haley's gratitude, but those kids every day, regardless of the circumstances, you can count on them to have positive attitudes, to be coachable. During the game, and afterwards I kind of walked away and went, man, that was wrong, Shimmy. But Haley turned the ball over. And I thought she was a little too casual, so it was timeout. And so I pulled her in and I ripped her a little bit. And I was like, hey, that's too casual, and just make the simple pass. And she looked at me and she was like, okay, okay, coach, I'm sorry about that. I got it. And then I walked away and I was like, dude, she was like a student manager yesterday. Like, give her a break. She got on a 6 a.m. flight this morning to come help you. Chill. And but I will say this, is that she went back out the very next possession and made a great pass, a high entry pass to Jada on a slip, and Jada scored off of it. So those kids are coachable and they work really hard. And right now where we're at in this program, like, that's what we need. That's the foundation moving forward. Hardworking, grateful kids with great attitudes.
How much do you think the other players on the team who have had regular playing time have kind of gotten a better sense of their opportunity, just seeing how, grateful Angel and Haley are, just kind of putting things in perspective for them?
Well, I think playing time is the best motivator of all. At least in my experience, when I was a player, the bench is the best motivator that you can have. And so they're not, these kids are smart kids. And so with Angel's increased minutes and now adding Haley to the team, some of them are able to figure out, that's less minutes for me. So that's the goal is that, the buy-in of playing hard. That's where your playing time is going to be determined. But it's easy for me to say that when I don't have anyone else to play. And now we do. So, we shall see over these next couple of games. But for the most part, most everyone has really bought in anyway. But like I said a few weeks ago, if you're not used to it, if it's not who you are and part of your character, it's hard to sustain that. And so we've had some slippage. And, so when we have slippage, we bring it to the attention and try to move forward.
And Coach, obviously, we always talk about the controllables and whatnot. Bringing someone new in, more than anything else, like, obviously there's many things that bring a new individual to a group can really affect. But is energy really the main one? Just bringing that new blood, someone who's like really excited to be there. Is that one of the main factors?
I can't say that energy, that element is any more important or valuable than the effort or the attitude part. As far as bringing someone new into the fold, the transition is a lot easier because Haley's been with us every day. She's a student manager. She's traveled with us. She does individual workouts with the players, especially with our 2 red shirts. She's in practice every day. So that transition has just, it's made it all the more seamless as opposed to us bringing in a kid from outside the program.
And now going forward to the next game, traveling to Oklahoma State, is there an area or a couple areas you've noticed now that more games have gone by that you think you can really focus on that can help you win the game?
Yeah, we have to cut down on our turnovers. And I take the blame for that because we haven't had a true, experienced point guard in a while. And so I've kind of been giving them, I've not made a big deal about the turnovers because I don't, I accept things for where they are, for what they are and where we are. And without making excuses, Graysons just wasn't a point guard and Angel just didn't understand that sort of pressure. So we've had to play people out of position a lot, not just Grayson. And so I've kind of tried to downplay the turnovers. But West Virginia, we got a little carried away. I mean, we were literally turning the ball over like it was our job. I literally said, I want you to dribble in and then throw the ball in the stands. And of course I didn't say that. So what we did yesterday in practice is Brandy Poole, one of our assistant coaches, I went to her and I said, hey, we got to do something. So can you come up with something creative that really resonates with them? Because also in the midst of all this too, you guys, we also are trying to make this fun for these guys. I mean, it's been a really long year. A lot has gone on that you are aware of and that you're not aware of, but a lot has gone on. And at the end of the day, it's their experience. And so for 4 young women, it's their last experience. It's over now in a month. So we are also trying to keep this as fun as we can, to keep them as engaged, because I think otherwise if they weren't having some sort of fun, it would be really hard to keep them motivated to come in every day. And so Brandy came up with a turnover wall. I think she might have some copyright issues with Game of Thrones, I'm not sure, but what she did is she put these Raider Reds on the wall, and there's 15 of them. So turnovers are the wildlings, the wild passes. I sound like such a nerd right now with the Game of Thrones reference, but anyway. So the wildlings, and so we have to control the wildlings, keep the wildlings from crossing the wall. So we have our Knights watchwoman, who's our manager, Alyssa, who will not be walking on the team. And her job is to keep track of turnovers in practice. And so with each turnover, she removes a Raider Red off the wall. So we start with 15. When we get down to 0, now we start running for every turnover. And so yesterday, by the end of an hour and 40-minute practice, we had 10 turnovers. And it was amazing, really, to see. We explained the concept at the beginning of practice, and then we did our first drill. And all of a sudden, everyone decides they want to start meeting their passes, and they're stepping into their passes, and they're being more cautious with their passes, and they're talking to each other. And so it's just amazing how something as simple and silly as that, can resonate with the kids and make them more cognizant of what they're doing.
And do you think whenever you attack something like the turnover struggles, do you think that will, if that gets taken care of, it will push a lot of things back into place and not just help with passing out, but there'll be a lot of things that really fall into place because of that?
Yeah, that will help with our defense, because a lot of our turnovers are live ball defense. Our live ball turnovers, and so it's really hard to get back in transition defense on a live ball turnover. It will also help with us trying to do what we're trying to do offensively. So I don't know if anyone noticed this or not, but we shot 55% against West Virginia. West Virginia is really known for being one of the better defensive teams, not just in the league, but in the country. We shot 55% against them. So when we weren't turning the ball over, we were scoring. We gave West Virginia something ridiculous, like 30 plus more shots, field goal attempts than we had. It's really hard to win a game when the other team gets to take 30 plus more shots than you do. So fixing the turnovers, or at least corralling it in a little bit, will solve a lot of our problems, because we are getting better. We are getting better defensively. We are getting better offensively. But the turnovers just really, it kills us in those areas.
Can you tell us about your shirt?
Do you like my shirt? Yes, I would love to tell you about my shirt. So Brittany Brewer, a sophomore on our team, she is incredibly talented on and off the court. She's an artist. And she made me this. She designed this shirt. It says, just a kid from Flint. And she gave it to me yesterday, asked me if I would wear it today. I'm not going to lie, I cried. It was probably one of the coolest things ever. And she said that I am just a kid from Flint, Michigan, who's helping to teach and to lead and to inspire a bunch of other kids from Texas. And I thought it was pretty cool.